What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central. It's your boy Haize, joined by them cognac boys in the building. What's going on,
Yes,
fam?
sir. What's cracking?
What up?
Today we will be discussing some slander being thrown towards Justin Fields' way. I take it as slander. I get it. Somebody thinks they're being objective. We'll also be talking about the best second round picks in Chicago Bears history, and we'll also go over who Mel Kiper has the Bears selecting with their first draft pick in this year's draft. All that and more on today's Chicago Bears Central.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central.
All right, family. So we are 1 week, just less than a week actually, away from the NFL draft. I can't wait. This is gonna be so it's the draft is always a fun time. It's even more fun right now. There's so many possibilities of the way that the Bears could go in the draft, and we'll talk about what Mel Kiper thinks the Bears are gonna do with their first pick in this draft. We'll also talk about some of the best second round picks in Chicago Bears history. But I've been sick for basically a whole week. And there was a video that I came across. One day I was scrolling in bed, sick as hell. And when I tell you, it frustrated me so much that I almost hobbled my sickly ass downstairs to record an episode. It would have literally been me sounding like Voldemort, though. Like I would have been like, I was so sick this week. But I saw this video on Twitter. I'm gonna go ahead and play it for you guys and for the audience, and then we'll go ahead and break it down.
Let's do it.
And I get it, and we it felt that way from the outset, especially looking at where the cap numbers were starting in for the Bears. Like this is going to be a rough one. This could be 4 wins, this could be 5 wins, it could even be less, and it may get the Bears closer to a Super Bowl.
Well, that's right, and sometimes we see this happen, and there's a fine line between deliberately, strategically taking a step back and tanking. There's a fine line between those two things. But it feels like the Bears are deliberately taking a step back. And the problem is, usually teams do that when they don't have a quarterback they believe in, because part of the setup is we will be so bad we end up getting a quarterback that becomes our franchise foundation. Maybe that's the hidden message here, that the new regime doesn't believe in Justin Fields. Because if they did, would they be tearing everything else down, or would they be trying to build everything else up? Because what happens is if the team stinks, Justin Fields is going to have a rough year, and fans are going to be like, well, we wasted a couple of first-round picks on him. On to the next one. So maybe if there's truth to the idea, and it sure looks like it, that they're deliberately tearing everything down, it could be that this is just step one toward moving on from Justin Fields at the appropriate time, which could be as soon as next year if they would trade him to someone else and then begin their search for whoever the next potential franchise quarterback is going to be.
I will give you
All right. And I understand. I think one time we attacked the topic of what if Ryan Poles doesn't quite believe in Justin Fields' potential as a franchise. It's some speculation to be done in that. But to say that the Bears are going to be looking to trade a quarterback who has only had a partial season, didn't start every game of that season, was not in the best position. He was in the Matt Nagy offense on top of that. Did this frustrate you guys as much as it did me? Am I being a little bit irrational with letting this frustrate me as much as I did? Bobby, I'm gonna come to you first on this.
Man, you definitely have the right to be frustrated, because just hearing the buffoonery from a bozo that just came out, come on, man. Like, seriously. Let's just look at the overall season. Bears, 6 total wins. Did we make the playoffs? No. Every year after Matt Nagy's first year, there was regression. Where the hell y'all thought we was going to be? Keep a bunch of signed players that we already overpaying. They already killed the damn draft capital, hence why we stuck with only the draft capital that we have now. Then you already know when there's turnover in leadership, there's going to be a turnover of players, simply because you want the players that you bring in to buy in. But let's just look at Justin Fields real quick. Overall game, in my opinion, accurate. And if you compare him to the last few quarterbacks who Matt Nagy thought was going to be the saviors and take us to a Super Bowl, Nick Foles, or the red rifle with the empty clip. Come on, bro. Better deep ball accuracy, in my opinion. Again, then if you want to look at some of the plays that we have to look at just from the season of what Justin Fields' potential is, you got to look at that scramble touchdown against the 49ers, that game against the Steelers to where he brought them back and gave them a chance to win when he hit Allen Robinson on the right sideline with just a perfect pass, and then he threw Darnell Mooney open. He wasn't open. He threw him open for an accurate touchdown pass. Come on, man. They attack the offensive line position. They trying to do, but they're not gonna overpay people. Y'all want them. Some people want them to overpay. I'm on Poe's side on that. He's doing well so far.
And I disagree with where they started off with, too, saying that they're tearing everything down. I don't look at it as they tearing everything down. They are letting some players go who they're not at the position right now to play for. The team isn't at a position where you can pay that much money for players and not have a team that's a surefire contender, or even a surefire playoff team at that. But go ahead, C-Dubb.
Yeah, I want to say this is more of that frustration from the media. They starting to feel like we feeling. Yeah. So now they throwing out clickbait now. He has no reason and no way to knowing that the Bears are not happy with Justin Fields. He's going off a hunch. He's going off an inaccurate hypothesis, which he pulled out his ass. So nobody knows what Ryan Poles is thinking. I want to say that we can pretty much go ahead and count on it. He thinks this guy's talented. Come on, Justin Fields is talented. Everybody can see that every Sunday. So I'm sure he's willing to give him a chance, at least a chance. It isn't like he making the team bad so Justin Fields can fail. Come on, that sounds crazy. That's ridiculous. And also, what's the alternative, big dog? You want to put Simeon in there? Go ahead, put Simeon in there. See what happens. This is crazy, dude. The media have lost their mind now. They just making things up on the fly now.
You know what it is, though? It is because this offseason has not left a bunch for speculation. Ryan Poles is gone in the bargain bin like he basically told us he would, right? He saved money. We see what he's going to do with the draft. And the media does not have a lot to talk about. They don't. So they're gonna figure out whatever they can. So now, somebody's thinking, oh, well, maybe it's that they're really trying to get out of Justin Fields. Come on, man.
Come on, dude.
And he literally only played one season, bro. Season.
I can see if he was 4 years in, and they're like, all right, maybe they're trying to start moving away from Fields. But come on, man.
Come on, dude.
Seriously, though.
He had no reason. That was really an awful move on his part. What is how you pronounce this? Florio? That's his last name, Mike Florio. Man, you bows against Mike, man. Why you gonna try to do that to the young kid, man? And this how stuff spreads, and then it gets to some false stuff, get it to the kid's head. He a young kid, he looks at all this media and stuff. Ryan Poles didn't say that. Now you're gonna ruin the man's head. He might try to go overdo it next.
And all it takes is one blogger to take that and be like, a Chicago Bears insider thinks the Bears are trying to move away from Justin. That's how somebody's going to turn it. And
that's
like,
just awful.
Come on,
that's just awful, dude.
That shit is ridiculous.
But that's why I like independent media, like us, like other podcasts that aren't attached to any of these big name conglomerates, because they just get to cover it for the love, right? Not for any attention, not to need to cover any clickbait, anything like that. Because they need a certain amount of clicks, because whoever owns their company says, hey, you need to get more traffic to your shit.
Yes.
Right. Exactly.
So that's, you just gotta trust research your sources, know what they're talking about. Don't go off just everything that you see. But let's go ahead and move on. Bobby, you had brought up a topic, the best second round picks in Chicago Bears history, and this is important since the Bears their first two picks are in the second round, man. So what's on the list for us?
First two picks, man. They got some in the second round, but so we had looked at this article coming straight from the Bears on USA Today. The last 10, the top 10 draft picks that were taken in the second round by the Chicago Bulls. They started off with fullback Matt Suhey, wide receiver Alshon Jeffrey, Safety Mike Brown, love that guy. Safety Richie Pettenbon, fullback Rick Caceres, Matt Forte, Charles Tillman, Devin Hester, linebacker Bill George, and Mike Singletary will round off the
Singletary
top 10.
was a second round pick.
Exactly.
Okay.
So go ahead, Hayes. What you think about that list? And just mention your favorite, man.
That is a great list.
That's an awesome list.
You already know I'm going right to Devin Hester because somebody who should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. So I'm definitely going to go to Devin Hester. I get some people may think that, maybe I'm overreaching on that one, but hey, Devin Hester and what he was able to do. But I'll go also with Matt Forte. People forget just how
God, oh my God, so smooth too.
That man was a beast, man. Did he play for us for like 7 years?
Yep.
That was
Yeah, he played for us 7 years.
Matt Forte was a beast, man. Beast. But go ahead.
Enjoy that. C-Dubb.
Hey, that's just a point that you can find talent in the second round. You can find immense talent and great Hall of Fame players in the second round. But I want to go ahead and spot out those 3 players that was involved in that Lovie Smith reign that got to that Super Bowl. I want to point out Matt Forte and Devin Hester and Peanut Tillman. Those are the more recent players that I can remember right now. And those talented players, man, you could put them on any team and they're going to do the same thing they did here in Chicago. So that just tells you that you can find great talent in the second round. Now it's just up to that guy, Ryan Poles. You talk a lot of big stuff. It's your time now. Show us what you got, big guy.
He talking a lot and keeping a lot of stuff in at the same time.
Yes.
But man, I just love that it's a list that was made and that looks pretty damn good because man, you got some people that can make an argument for a Hall of Fame jacket. You know what I'm saying? Charles Tillman, Devin Hester. You got some people that's already in the ring on the other Chicago Bulls. You know what I'm saying? Bears, Chicago Bears, my B. But man, it's just good to see that, man, there's somebody out there with some talent that might slide a little bit or that's a bit underestimated and who got a chance to come in. So let's just see what happens, man. Draft day, less than a week, y'all. Let's go.
Wait.
And piggybacking off that, I just want to talk about the 39th overall pick. That's where our first pick is. We're going to talk about the last 10 players picked there over the last 10 years. So first off, we got right off from the Bears, Tevin Jenkins in 2021.
Yes, sir.
Pretty solid pickup there. OG Robert Hunt from the Miami Dolphins. Sean Murphy.
Solid.
From
Solid.
the Bucks.
Solid.
Another Chicago Bears, James Daniels.
Yeah.
Marcus May from the New York Jets.
He's okay. Okay.
Yeah. Noah Spence, Buccaneers.
He's okay.
Eddie Goldman, 2015, Chicago
He's a player.
Bears.
He's a player, yes.
Marquise Lee, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, you're okay.
Yeah. And then Geno
Smith.
Geno.
Oh, Geno Smith. I like Geno Smith, man.
I like Janoris Jenkins, man. Jack Rabbit. Yes, sir.
Jack Rabbit.
So, and that just goes to show, like, there are some pretty solid, right, it's not always going to be generational talent. What Bobby's list showed is that you can get some generational talent in the second round, absolutely. And specifically at the 39th pick, it showed that, hey, there's some pretty solid pickups that to be made, even at that 39th pick. It really just depends on how well your scouting team is. And that's what it boils down to.
Like, can I ask you guys a question? Usually when you get a new GM or new anybody in the executive office, it's always the most important part of the season is the draft for those people. How big of a moment is this for Ryan Poles, this upcoming NFL draft? Is it bigger than normal, or is it about the same as it comes?
Go ahead, Hayes, because I got something to say about this.
I think people are always going to look to see what Ryan Poles' first draft looks like. I don't think they're going to look at like the first pick. I think they're going to look at however many players the Bears draft in this draft, and they're going to say, hey, do at least one or two of these become perennial starters for the Chicago Bears? And I hope that they judge it fairly based off that. Now, we already know this team doesn't have a lot of draft capital because I swear the former front office, they were like, hey, look, we know we finna get up out of here. We're gonna fuck whoever comes after us.
For real.
But I think they're always gonna look at this and try to judge it probably more harshly than what we most would in a draft where we don't have our first pick until the 39th pick.
Okay. Bobby.
It's a big thing.
Okay.
Example, Exhibit A, y'all. Chicago Bears, they trade up in the draft. This man takes Mitchell Trubisky. We talking about Ryan Pace. Not Pose. We talking about Pace. Skipped over Deshaun Watson. Skipped over Patrick Mahomes. And went off just one season of Mitchell Trubisky in college.
North Carolina, too.
Exactly. Come on, bro. So, Ryan Post, your first pick is very important to how the fans will view you. If you go in there and don't take a wide receiver and don't take an offensive lineman, you better be ready for that smoke, my boy, because Chicago people, we do not play.
He better be ready. That's absolutely right, nephew.
You better be ready for that smoke.
If that fool go and bring in a cornerback, I hear some people saying a cornerback.
Oh, we about to get into that.
You know, if he do that, boy, I can hear David Kaplan now.
You guys are going to be covering it live. I'll be listening. I won't be able to be on, unfortunately. But, hey, listen, when I say all I'm going to be listening for is to hear Bobby's reaction, it's going to tell me everything that I need to know. How loud Bobby gets is going to tell me everything I need to know.
Let's go.
Yeah, all right, man.
For real.
So, anything left on that one before we move into our last topic for today?
Nah, we can move on. I ain't got nothing else to say.
So Mel Kiper has the Bears with their first pick, not first round pick, our first pick overall in this draft, drafting Washington cornerback Kyler Gordon. Now, this could just be based off best available rather than the Chicago Bears specific needs. So don't let that get anybody too into a tizzy. But overall, it's information out there. There's a lot of mock drafts out there, but Mel Kiper is kind of looked at as the one that people look towards. What do you guys think about this?
Hey, Ryan. Hey, you go and get a cornerback here, man, just like we just said, man. Just be ready for that smoke. You know what I'm saying? Stand 10 toes, big dog, if you gonna do it. Stand 10 toes, because they coming for your head. You do that. Everybody knows we looking for a wide receiver and an old lineman. Don't go against the grain on this one, brother. Don't be your own self on. Don't try to go stand on the mountain by yourself, bro. Just go with what's right. Wide receiver.
Okay, but here's the thing: is what if that player is the best available on the board at the time? What would he have to turn into for you to be like, okay, Ryan? Okay, Ryan.
He has to get us to a Super Bowl or something like that. Like,
oh, well, shit. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's how that, we don't need anything but a wide receiver to O-line. Go ahead, Bobby.
Okay, go ahead, Bobby.
Man, if that man come out to take a cornerback, I'm gonna be very upset. We brought in 2 cornerbacks who we believe that are gonna be pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see another rookie cornerback right now. Not with the first pick. We need a game-changing wide receiver. Ryan Poles, your scout team. Matt Eberflus. Y'all gotta find us this guy. It's been a while. Look, we just left Allen. We just let Allen Robinson go. We need to fill that void. There's a void. I understand you always. In most cases, some people want to take the best available. And that's fine in most cases. But in this case, Justin Field needs help. So go O-line or wide receiver. We need a big target or somebody that's going to take the top off and make some changes. Please, you do not need a cornerback right now. No. Please.
All right. I mean, listen. At this point, while I do want to see the Bears go a different route, I don't think anything can surprise me. I really don't think anything can surprise me.
Not in this moment.
I really don't think anything could surprise me. If they announce that the first pick is a cornerback, all I'm gonna do then is be like, all right, listen, Ryan Poles basically said, fuck positions right now. I'm just gonna I'm going after talent. And
Okay.
considering where the Bears are, am I gonna be completely against that? I don't know. It really just depends on how that player turns out. I'm trying to be fair in this. Like, yes, we need an O-line, we need a wide receiver. Those things need to be addressed. And if they're not addressed in the draft, I just
I got a caveat.
Look at that.
I got a caveat. One caveat. If you don't go O-line or wide receiver, I will make an exception for somebody solid at the linebacker position so you can pair up with Roquan Smith. That's it. But they brought in other guys, so I don't see it. It got to be a game changer. It just got to be somebody that's gonna change the game. I'm anxious to see, man. I'm anxious to see it.
Ryan Poles,
that really just sums up this offseason and everything for me for the Bears. I'm anxious to see the Bears get on the field, bro. That's really
absolutely.
Down to.
Absolutely.
I just want to see the Bears get on the field. I just want to see this team take the field. I want to see what they're going to look like over the first 2, 3, 4 games, and then see how they grow from that point on. What does this season? How does this season take shape? How does Justin Fields grow over the course of this season? How do the other young players? Does Mooney actually develop into the one that some people think that he can be? I still think he's more likely a 2 than a 1, but maybe they do look at it and say, hey, if we can get a wide receiver, we'll get one. But hey, if we don't get one, it gives us a year to see maybe is Mooney actually a 1. So I don't know, man. I'll say this. I'm not saying that Mooney doesn't have the potential to be a 1. I just don't necessarily see him getting there, but that doesn't mean he still is not going to be a very, very good wide receiver for Justin Fields. Like,
Agreed.
I'm not at all saying the dude's a bum. I just think we're going to need at least one player as good as Mooney, if not better than Mooney, for us to really have the most optimal version of the offense that we can have.
Definitely.
Perfectly put.
Agreed.
I would take another. That'll be like for my first pick for the 39th. I would definitely take that wide receiver. We need somebody just like you said, on par with Mooney, or at least better. But that's come on, Ryan. I'm gonna call you RP, role playing. Play that role good this time, baby. Don't try to go off the script, big dog. RP.
Boy.
RP, you don't want Shark.
Drafts a cornerback. I feel like C-Dubb gonna be waiting outside Ryan Poles. Like, hey man, listen.
Hey,
I got that. Ryan Poles, we're gonna have a face-to-face talk, big dog. With Blicky, nephew.
Call in. We're gonna have to get him on Chicago Bears Central so we can be like, man, why you do this to us?
What's to you, big dog? What's to you?
I feel like all Ryan would just say is, listen, just wait. Wait. I'm telling y'all, just wait.
All right, y'all. Don't have phone. My boy Haize doing the phone thing again.
Oh, listen.
Oh, no. They ain't seen that. They don't know yet.
They ain't seen that yet. And they're going to get at least a full season until they get it. Just like it took a full season to come out for the Chicago Bulls show. Like, if it gets to the point where I need to pull out the phone, oh, this season has gone very, very left. It's gone very, very left. Very left. But all right, man. We got anything else before we head out of here for players?
Definitely. I want to say thank you to all of y'all who helped Chicago Bears Central go so fast from that long video, baby. Just believe we got more of the same coming. It's gonna be better, actually. So y'all keep tuning in, man. We trying to do this for y'all real fans. No robotic analysis coming from us, baby. Just straight from the heart. Appreciate you guys for running up them numbers.
Yes, sir. And then while y'all at it, go ahead and check out them Cognac Boys at the Chicago Bulls show with the Cognac Boys on all social media platforms. And then once you're doing that, go ahead and check out our guy CEO Haize. That's on social media, and he doing his thing with the Bulls too. Let's go.
Yes, sirski.
Follow us collectively at Shy Bear Central. Next time you see us, are we gonna do a Wednesday episode next week, or are we just gonna wait till the draft? We're just gonna wait and draft.
When is the draft? Thursday?
Drafts but the first day of the draft is Thursday, but the Bears don't have a pick to the second round, so they wouldn't pick until Friday.
I said the people want to see us Friday. Y'all comment in the comments if y'all need a show Wednesday, man.
Let's go. Let us know.
Let us know some.
But all right, man, that has been it. This has been another episode of Chicago Bears Central. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to leave a text or a voicemail, you can do so at 773-270-2799. If you want to leave us a voicemail, you can do. Email. You can do so at shybearcentral at gmail.com. You can leave us any feedback there. If you want to get your thoughts on the show, that's the place you can do it, or that voicemail. But that's it. We will see you lovely and beautiful people next week. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.